Welcome back, Guardians. And today I delved a little bit into the lore and found some things that I really didn't know about. Now, you do know that I made a video about the Destiny factions, the average, Dead Orbit, New Monarchy, those stuff. Well, people have been telling me a lot to do the Binary Star Cult, which is also called the Trinity Star Cult, I believe. And that leads me to move on to other factions you don't usually hear about. You do know that some factions can consist of the Gunsmith, that's technically a faction. There's also the Queen's Wrath, there's also Eris Morn, those are types of factions, but there's other ones too. Technically secret factions, where secret can be used in a different way here though. When I say secret, I mean that it's not given to you through the game. It's like go to this person to do stuff for Dead Orbit, no. It's like go through the lore and find it yourself secret. The average Destiny player doesn't really do, and I guess that's why you're here, to learn about that. So going through the Destiny lore, you will find some weird factions. One that I've already did that I will not cover in this one is the Osiris cult. Very great cult, love to join it, you can go see that over there. Links in the description. But another cult that I learned about is called the Symmetry cult. Now their name does exactly what they think about, or their ideals. Symmetry is a faction established posthumously around the teachings of Ulantan. Ulantan was a warlock, as you'd expect from one of these people. People that think outside the box and usually tend to be a little bit corrupt. Now corruption isn't really that bad in this case. It's not like the Concordat where they decided to overthrow the consensus, no. The Symmetry believed that the darkness is the necessary symmetry to the Traveler, as in they both need to exist, whereas the Traveler can be good, the darkness is evil. There needs to be a balance within the cosmic everything, that's yin-yang type stuff. They believe that the Traveler's goodness led to its sacrifice itself to defeat the darkness for their sake, as in only pure light can defeat pure darkness, and they must repay the Traveler's goodness by healing it. Going back to the Concordat, you don't really hear about the Symmetry cult because there was a debate between the Future War cult and Symmetry as to who should get the seat. It went to Future War cult because if they did get the seat, I'd be talking about the Future War cult right now. If you're wondering why they didn't get the seat, it's apparently because the consensus felt that their philosophy was too dangerous and could spread too much fear. Now, I know there's definitely more to this story because when you think about it, believing that there's yin and yang, the goodness and the bad, the Traveler and the darkness, it's not really that bad. It did have a good following though. They grew in very large numbers, but the consensus is like one of those things where they do things on their own and they want things to go the way they want to. They don't want this cult coming around and starting this stuff, even though I don't know what it would start. I believe the Symmetry is a good cult, and I wouldn't mind getting into it. Maybe their symbol would be yin and yang. Maybe their shaders would be split right in half, down the middle. Vertical shaders, one side this color, one side that color. It just leads for good possibilities for customization. I don't know. That's the way I look at it. A little bit more on Ulantan, the founder. He wasn't really all that out there. He did believe in this, but that's not that bad because the Hive kind of help this theory, the theory of yin and yang. Ilkora Ray actually somewhat supported this idea. All light is interconnected across space and time. The theory was supported by the Hive, as I said, and by the use of that shard in that mission with the Traveler, it kind of supports that reason. Do I really know why? I wish I could tell you. But as I said before, for unknown reasons, Ulantan was viewed by the Vanguard and the consensus as dangerous. Some people call him a troublemaker, so that makes them lead to believe that he was childish? I don't really think so. He apparently would inspire too much fear. There's clearly more behind this. Maybe this is a Destiny conspiracy, so grab your spinfoil hats. That's enough about the Symmetry cult or faction. Onto the Binary Star cult, which you guys so desperately want me to talk about. I did talk about the theory of the darkness being the Traveler technically, or the Traveler is what we view as to be a god, but in reality he's caused all our suffering. It's pretty much almost fact at this point, because everyone believes it. That doesn't make it fact, however. The Binary Star cult, in definition, holds the belief that the Traveler itself triggered the collapse, and used humanity as a sacrifice on its war against the darkness. That's it, short and sweet and to the point. However, there's a lot more behind it. I do go into more detail, as I said, in another video. Links in the description. So, sorry to redirect you somewhere else, but the video is already made, technically. to pretty much run it down, the Binary Star Cult or the Trinity Star Cult, whichever you want to call it, there is a lot of facts to back it up, with the Fallen talking about it's the darkness as you come up on them. Also, just the idea makes perfect sense, and it would be a good storytelling standpoint for Bungie, which they so desperately need. Another secret, I guess secret, even though it's pretty much everywhere. It's not quite in the game, and it's under deleted stuff, but I'm still going to talk about it because it's somewhat important. That is the Seven Seraphs. Sounds pretty cool, I know. You may have seen the logo many of places, but it was believed to be one of the factions of the Guardian City, but it's not. Maybe it still is, maybe it's not. Probably deleted. It was one of the 5 factions revealed during the pre-alpha phase of Destiny. I don't know where it went. Maybe it got a different name, or maybe it just got scrapped and it's going to be used again for later. Maybe there's this Seven Seraph clan working somewhere behind the scenes. I don't know. Seven Seraph is just a name you don't throw away, and they did a lot of work on it. The design seems to be refined, so I don't see why not. Maybe they're just another 9, because that is a faction as well, the 9. Seven Seraphs also seems to fit with Bungie a little bit too well. As you know, 7 is their favorite and lucky number. And the last unknown, I wouldn't say unknown, I take that back. The last somewhat secret faction is the Forces of the City, aka FOTC. Now, you may not see it or hear of it as in people, but you will see FOTC, just the general letters. You may see it on ships, you may see it on guns. It's an organization tasked with the defense of the city on Earth. Forces of the City, they are the defending force of the city. Nothing really special there. Equipment belonging to FOTC, such as weapons or aircraft, are commonly labeled with the acronym. The FOTC hasn't really made an appearance yet, as I said, so maybe they're just another underlying thing, or they're deleted. Although the last 2 might not be in the game, the Binary Star Cult isn't really in the game either. That's kind of made up by the community. Although there is a couple of cloaks saying otherwise. In the Grimoire of the Darkness does somewhat mention that. But you can somewhat say the same about Seven Seraphs and the Forces of the City. They are kind of mentioned in the lore. Not directly. Kind of indirectly. But Symmetry is a known fact to be in the game. Maybe you can take up Ulantan's work and help Symmetry regain its foothold in the consensus. But I'm kind of reaching for the stars here on Destiny. If only you had these options to actually do this. Choose your faction, become the leader of that faction, and help that faction. Change the world of Destiny for your own. But, as I said, I'm grabbing at nothing here. Those are the secret factions. Air quotes around secret. That's been it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Later, Guardians.